Hi guys, welcome to the round 1 review for AFL Fantasy. Absolutely outstanding score this week for the first round of AFL. Really good to have footy back first of all. It's really good to see crowds at games and see the players rack up the footy, which is good. Yeah, if you're looking at my score right now, 2093, outstanding week, absolutely amazing. Overall ranking of 32 in the whole of Australia, so I'm really happy with that and how we fared this week. So. Looking forward to round 2 now. It puts us in a really good position, being in the top 100. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And I'm actually checking out the rankings for once, which is the first. But yeah, in the top 50 position, so that's good. I'm really happy with how my team's fared for this week, and I'll be discussing the players and how they fared, as well as a couple of mistakes that I made before the round, as well as my trades. So stay through to the end of the video. But before I get into it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. This is bound to be the season. Perfect start, ranked 32nd, so I'm really looking forward to the season, and hopefully, we can get a top 100 finish. I think it's definitely possible with the start that we've had. So let's get into my defense now. D1, we had Rory Laird. Looked really good inside mid roll, playing really well. It was a pretty big upset, the Adelaide Crows versus the Geelong Cats. I feel that whenever Adelaide are on, Rory Laird will definitely benefit. He's the number 1 midfielder at the Crows at the moment, so if you don't have Rory Laird in your team, it's probably time to get him in. He's a must-have. He's got that midfield role. His time on ground is solid, and he just looks really clean throughout the goal, playing inside and outside, taking a couple +6s, which is really important as well. So Rory Laird looked pretty good. Thomas Stewart was pretty poor, 79. Not great from your primo, but he's a top 6 defender for sure. So we've got him in because of that Adelaide matchup, and I'll talk about a couple of the other Geelong boys later on, and why we brought them in because of that Adelaide matchup. It didn't really go out to plan, but saying that, I think Tom Stewart is definitely a top 6 defender, and he'll bounce back and hopefully have a nice week. I'm hoping for 90 plus from him this season. But yeah, he's taking kickouts, which is good, and he loves a +6. We know how Tom Stewart, so he should be fine. Doherty was solid with 91. Started off really slow, but he worked his way into the game, which is good. And yeah, his fourth quarter was amazing, so he did really well to get to that 91. So I'm happy with that score from Doherty. Daniel was amazing, 111. Him and Doc sort of played similar. They started off pretty slow, and they both had really big fourth quarters. So Daniel, really happy with that score from him. Bulldogs really love the ball in his hand. He loves to take the kickouts, which is an extra 3 points. And like I said, Bulldogs love the ball in his hand, so he's getting more of the footy this year. And with that man on the mark rule, it's really suiting his game style. So those are my premium defenders. Really happy with how they fared. My 2 rookies were amazing. Young was solid, 71. I don't know what it is with these players, but they always start off really slow and work their way into the game. So it's quite interesting actually to see how they play, because not many players start off strong and stay strong throughout the game. Most players start off really poor and then work their way into the game, or some start off really strong and then fade off late into the game, as we saw someone like Zach Merritt. But yeah, I'm really happy with Hayden Young. He looks to make a bit of cash, which is good. And 71 is exactly what I wanted from him. And Markov was the best decision I made throughout the round. So I think it was on Sunday morning. I was tossing up between that last D6 spot. I wasn't too sure who to go. I was either Fantasia, Cumming, Iden, or Markov. In the end, we went Markov, and I was sort of regretting it when I saw what Fantasia was doing. And then I saw Cumming score really well, and Iden was pretty poor. So I was kind of regretting it. But then when I saw the West Coast Gold Coast game, Markov was amazing, took a heap of marks, and 108, that's really rewarding. So made a perfect decision, and also Raul going down helped me boost up the rankings, because Markov was my only Gold Coast player playing, so that was good. But yeah, overall defense was pretty solid. Highmore on the bench was amazing, 62, and Kosicki was solid for 44. So those two should be slow burners, but they'll make a fair bit of coin this season, and the job security is looking solid. Midfield, Merritt was fine with 111. Started off really well, but slowed down. which is what I was talking about early on. McRae was really good for us. He had a solid 4-quarter effort. He was good in each quarter. Looked really good. Loop Oldham, really happy I did that in the end. This was either him or Merritt I was going to captain. And we stuck with our guards and went with McRae, who was the second highest scorer of the round. So pleased that we went with McRae. Turned out really well. Taranto started off really slow, but found his way into the game. And I think he's top scored for the Giants, so he was good, 103. Wet weather footy down there, so it was quite hard to score. So don't be too upset if you have any GWS St Kilda boys that didn't score too well. Danger, 96, which is good. Although he's going to be suspended for maybe about a week or two, maybe even 3. We'll see how he goes in the tribunal. So that means he's a must trade. And I'll be talking about my trade plans later on in the video. But yeah, he started up off forward, which is a bit of a concern. But yeah, he worked his way into the midfield and looked really good. Clark was poor, 54. Not a great effort from him. Not really sure where he played. I think he played all over the place. But yeah, he didn't look too great, so he's on my trade list at the moment, although I think we might give him another shot. I'm not too sure. Powell was solid, 68. That's what you want from your rookies, 60 plus. Goulden was amazing, 108. Probably man of the match for that game. Looked really good. Was everywhere, taking heaps of marks, kicking goals. So he was good. Campbell. But unfortunately, we didn't fill James Jordan, but 46 for Campbell is not great, so not too happy with that. But I think we'll probably end up fielding James Jordan over Campbell. Campbell's job security isn't as great, I think, now, with that poor game. Neither is Chad Warner's, to be honest, but both of those players, with Buddy Franklin coming in, I think one of them's going to go, and it's most likely going to be Warner, but we'll just have to wait and see on the team lists. James Jordan, 80, really happy with that score. He was on like 69 at halftime, so I think he had like 11 points in the second half, which is a poor effort, but he's a rookie, so what can you expect? And then Brockman, it was really good, 45. And another great decision that I made was going with Gawn and Flynn. I could have gone Gawn and Grundy, and I'm really happy that I went Gawn and Flynn. Like, most people were saying set and forget. Turned out to be more set and regret. Really poor Grundy and Gawn performances. Gawn was 73. He's going to drop a fair bit in cash, so non-owners, if you don't have him, might be good time to jump on when he reaches around the 820k mark, or even 800k, because he's really expensive at the moment. So that's that. Flynn was amazing, top scored for all the rucks, so he's going to make a heap of coin over the next couple of weeks, which is good. Meek was poor, 26. With Darcy back, I think his job security is really poor. His job security might get dropped this week, we'll see. Dunkley was solid in my forward line, 107. He looks really good. He looks to have a really good season. Phillips solid. Take away his first and fourth quarter. I think he scored 80 points in the third and fourth quarter. So if he did have a solid first quarter, where he scored 6 points in the first quarter, but the fourth quarter was pretty poor as well. So I think he scored 80 points in the third and fourth, the second and third quarter, which is really good. Could have scored a lot more if he played well in the first and fourth, but not complaining. 87 solid. Hine was amazing, 100. Looks to take a +6, loves tackling, looks really good. Good pickup. Probably not a top 6 forward, to be honest, but he'll definitely be there to make a bit of coin, which is good. Atkins. So we got Atkins and Clark, mainly for that Geelong matchup. I was really keen on Atkins' role over the preseason, playing more defence. And honestly, he gave away 5 free kicks, which, if you take away that, he would have got around 67, which isn't terrible. But we're going to give Atkins another go. I think his role's still there. He looks good. Geelong looked really tired in that game. You know, they didn't look really at full stretch. They didn't look really good. So we'll give Atkins a go. I guess if we do that, we'll probably have to give Clark another go. Although it is a bit risky. Then we loopholed McRae with Eli Smith as captain. Rowe was our emergency, so we got 84 for him, and Warner 57. So those two were really solid. Miles Bergman was also alright, 53 on the bench, and Paul Hunter 44. So it's going to be a slow burning year for rookies, I think. But there's plenty of cash to be made, and in the early stages of the fantasy season, I think the key thing that you want to be doing is probably getting your rookies right. Holding your premiums is probably one of the biggest things. But when you're forced to trade at premiums like Dangerfield and Morel, you have no choice. But that's how we went round one. Really happy, like I said. Outstanding score of 2,093, ranked 32nd in Australia. So that's amazing. Trades for this week. Not really actually flickered with the trades at the moment, but we know that Dangerfield's going to be going for us. A couple of options I've been looking at: Tom Mitchell, Sam Walsh, Martin, Brayshaw, Mills, Zeeble, not Zeeble, sorry, Bowes, Caldwell, Stevenson, and Scholl. So those are a couple of highlighted players that I think are all really good trade targets to bring into your team. Personally, I think Tom Mitchell is probably the best one out of them. Although we're going to struggle to find the cash to afford him. So what we're most likely going to be doing this week is trading out Dangerfield number one. Whether we go Dangerfield to someone like Caldwell or Stevenson is yet to be decided. Probably one of those two. We probably won't go Danger to Martin, as even though Martin scored really well, I just don't have too much faith in his consistency. But Dangerfield to Walsh is another good option. Walsh plays Collingwood, who gave away a lot of points, so Walsh could be in for a big game. But I think Tom Mitchell and Walsh are in for big games this week. But the obvious option here would be to go Dangerfield to either Caldwell or Stevenson, or even a Scholl. All of them have mid status, so or we could flick Dangerfield up forward and put Stevenson there. So all of them we can bring in. And then the second trade might be used to trade Eli Smith to maybe like an Anthony Scott, who looked solid. He scored around a 50. I'm not sure what his job security is like, or even a Harrison Jones. Harrison Jones really impressed me, and I think he's a good pickup. So at the moment, we're looking to bring in maybe Caldwell or Stevenson, and the second trade will be used to probably fix up a rookie. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how we went this week. Looking forward to round two. Kicks off with Carlton Collingwood, so probably won't do that Walsh trade actually, because then the Dangerfield trade will be locked in. So probably best to save our trades throughout the first couple of games and then use them. But yeah, like I said, really solid score, guys. Really happy with the score. Looking forward to round two. Comment down what you guys scored below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.